This is completely dry now. And that little flaw that I was talking about yesterday, it's not my paint job, it's the plastic. I guess I didn't nip it off carefully. However, I've got an idea. What I'll do is I will mount the little whatever you call this thing. It's not a flagpole, but it's some kind of a... Okay, I can get it on there. I will have it so that the post is going to sort of hide that flaw. In other words, I'll have it on this side. I think it has to be twisted around just a little bit more here. Maybe just a little bit more. All that's holding that on there is the blue tack. Maybe if I put a little bit of Tamiya extra thin on that part there, it'll slip, it'll, dissolve and go in better. Might also ruin my paint job. Be nice if that just sort of pressure fit in. Yeah. Twist it around just a little bit here. Yeah, that pretty well hides that. Then I think it's going to look okay from where it's going to be seen. Now, how do I keep that from falling out? I'm almost scared to put a little bit of extra thin in. You know what? I'll bet you if I was to take the blue tack out of there, I can't remember if that little hole goes all the way through or not. Then I could glue it from the inside. I'll take a look. See if I can get this off of here now. Okay, I got the blue tack out of there. It came out actually quite easy. You can see that the hole does not go right through. Now I don't have to repaint this because I get all ham-handed here. I'll just take that back out. Very gently. Sometimes when I try to do something like this, I regret it later. Oh. You know what? That seems to be in there pretty good. Do I really need to try and... Whoops. Okay, you know what I think I'm doing? Besides annoying everybody? I think I'm probably... rubbing the dark gray off of that post. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I think it seems to be... Alright, you don't need to hammer it on. Yeah. Okay, we're back to where we were. I was putting it in its little tuna fish tin, and I wasn't being being rough or nothing, and it just sort of fell apart. So I thought, well, guess I'm gonna have to glue it. Okay. Now, how do I get just a minute amount of glue in that little tiny hole? Get it straight here. Okay, very, very gently. Now, before that evaporates. Oh, where's the bad spot? There we go. Oops, I moved it. Hope it's not out of focus for you. This macro lens is extremely critical when it comes to distance. Like just a few millimeters in or out, and it's in or out of focus. I'm going to trust that I moved it back where it was supposed to go. Okay. I think I'm just going to leave it sitting on the toothpick, at least until all the solvent is evaporated out of the plastic. Then I'll know it's going to be about as strong as possible. And then I'll do my best to not set the camera on it. I got our new dark gray mixed up. It's the one on the left. The one next to it, right here, well, that's the one we've been using. And they look pretty much the same except for one thing. I didn't notice that this one here was semi-gloss. And yeah, so it's a little bit on the shiny side. And at first I thought, well, maybe I could use it, but then I realized that some of the parts that I'm going to be painting are going to be up to or close to other parts that I used this on. And it's just going to be too noticeable. I'll be able to use this later for something, I'm sure. Too bad, it's right full. Yeah, I mixed the black with the whites to get the colors I needed. Oh, by the way, I did find the video file that indicated what ratio I used, and I used a ratio of 10 drops of white to 3 drops of black to end up with this. Okay, I don't know if today's video is going to be very long or not, because I got to go to the hobby store. I want to do this right. You know, I was thinking, like I say, you know, painting some of these other pieces with this, but it just might not match up. It might be too obvious. I am back from the hobby store. Just back, actually. And I got 2 whites and 1 black. All flat this time. I had not intentionally wanted to buy the X2. I had wanted the XF, but I guess I wasn't paying attention when I pulled it off the shelf. And I wasn't paying attention when I mixed it up here. Now, before I forget, well, by the way, lots of time now has passed. This should be more than evaporated. Anyway, Tony did get back to us. And the way he did it was, when he sprayed this gold, is he sprayed it onto a gloss black, and then he would periodically stir the paint in the cup, and I'm assuming in the airbrush, to keep the particles suspended. And it was the particles I was worried about. I was thinking they might plug the nozzle, but apparently this stuff can be sprayed. Anyway. Now that blue tack actually comes out of there quite easily. I have just spent well over an hour mixing this paint up. And yeah, it sounds like it was complicated and a big job, but it really wasn't. And once you understand that you use 10 parts of white to 3 parts of black, you can pretty well hit it off right the first time, which I did. The mixing them up probably took a little longer. Anyway, we got our dark gray here in flat, and you can see it here beside the lighter gray in flat. Yeah, it's we're ready to spray. A little while ago I was reading my comments, and one of the viewers said something about one of the things that he needs a sign to remind himself of is don't rush it, among other things. And that's a good one, because if I was to try and do any spraying right now, I'd end up rushing it, you know, trying to get everything done before cutoff time this afternoon, for the video, that is. And yeah, so I'm going to just leave it for tomorrow now. And I guess that's about it for this video, for this episode, that is. And thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. And tomorrow, all being well, we will do some spraying.